a Portland guest, a tea guest, and a party guest. So I can't wait to introduce them to you today on Portland Tea Party. Welcome to Portland Tea Party. My name is Ciara Pressler, and I am your host for today and every week. We are here live on Fridays at 9 a.m. on LinkedIn. You can just go to my account, or on YouTube. And on YouTube, you can see all of our past episodes. We are doing this for the year of 2024 because it is a year of change. So much is happening, especially politically, but we're not focused on the federal U.S. elections because that will make you crazy. Is anyone else already crazy from trying to follow that news? I know I have had to go on a big news diet, and it is really benefiting my mental health. And if you go back to episode 1, you will see we have a guest telling us how to stay calm and resilient this year in the face of so much news flying at us. But what we're focusing on is Portland. Who's behind the scenes running the transition to our new form of government that goes into effect in January of 25? What's happening in the lead up? What is this new district format our city is in? What is ranked choice voting? Did you even know all of that was happening? I am here to help guide you through the process, but also introduce you to the leaders behind the scenes that make things happen. I'm really lucky in my business, which is called Pregame. We get to work with a lot of these government leaders, nonprofit leaders, and small businesses that are based in Portland. So we know a lot about what's going on. And one of the things that strikes me the most is that our leaders are amazing. Now, of course, there are some people that get on our nerves and people that we're like, what are you thinking? But the people behind them are people making things happen. And they're really extraordinary. And they're the kind of people you would want to grab tea with. So that's who I want to introduce you to. When we come back, our first guest. Welcome to our Portland segment. I am here with someone who is very key to the city of Portland, Sam Chase, Director of the Office of Government Relations. Welcome, Sam.
Hello, thanks for having me.
Yeah, thank you for being here. Now, Sam, what is the Office of Government Relations?
Well, we are an office that works on behalf of the city of Portland, and we advocate for the city of Portland with other government bodies, the state, the federal government, other local governments, regional governments, international relations, tribal relations, so we represent the city and help make sure that the city is working well with all of those partners.
Why does Portland need an advocate? What does that look like on the ground?
Well, we have as your viewers probably know, we have a lot of challenges in Portland right now, and getting Portland on a track that we all feel like it should be in terms of thriving and in so many ways and supporting the citizens of our city. And so it's so important that we are working with those other governments to lean into really addressing Portland's greatest and biggest needs, and that as a city, we have a unified voice, a collective strategy to move forward.
As I learn more about how the city works, or doesn't sometimes, it strikes me that we're dependent on so many other government bodies for our success. So, I know as citizens, it's easy to think like, oh, this is the mayor's fault or this is city council's fault, but really we're dependent on the governor and the state level, or what Metro is doing, or federal things that are coming down. So that's why, if I'm correct, you have to work with all these other entities.
Absolutely. If you think about some of the most complicated issues that we're facing today around community safety and making sure that everybody is safe in our community, walking around in our community, or living in our community, or finding a place to safely sleep and rest in our community, everybody is really needs to have a safe community. We have a unprecedented crisis with addictions and behavioral health and mental health. And so the city is really focused on trying to address those needs. And how and what rules and resources and funding are in place, very largely dependent on the state or the federal government or our other local partners, and how we execute and really address those big challenges in our urban areas.
One thing that reassures me a lot about your work is that you have an extraordinary team that's very hardworking, very like divide and conquer, or I should say like divide and win.
Yes, yes.
I had the privilege of working with your team over the last 6 months, and yeah, I mean, it's like you've got one person working on federal, one person working on state, someone else doing international relations. How do you, keep the city's agenda front and center and have that consensus while going out and talking to lots of different people?
Well, it's an interesting question because we have all of these different bureaus at the city. You have a housing bureau that's really focused on housing and shelter and creating opportunities for people who are houseless to get off the streets or get into a safe home. You have public safety folks. You have fire department, you have transportation system, all these other things that are affected by the way the city works. And so helping make sure that we have a unified collective voice with the state or federal it takes a team to do that.
Yeah.
And the results are really great when we do it right. We have a lot, for example, this last legislative session, we worked really closely with the governor and the state and the county to put forward strategies that will get our highways cleaned up and getting resources into making sure that trash and camping in dangerous highway corridors and graffiti are strategies that we're really proactively working with the state to clean up those lands, for example, that are state lands that are in Portland. And so we don't have the legal right to go in and clean or the resources to take care of that. So working with the state to say, hey, this is important for our urban core, or working with the state to help fund infrastructure in the Broadway corridor near the train station, or OMSI, where there's a Center for Tribal Nations and other incredible work along with housing happening to help make sure that our public safety officials have the tools that they need to help and support and engage folks downtown who are struggling in difficult situations. So there's a whole range of different ways that we need to work with the state police and the city police together, have to be coordinated and working together. So there's so many of these kind of different things when you start figuring out how to move forward. All those players come into the equation.
I'm thinking about like Broadway corridor as an example of how complex collaboration can be in government. Like, I'm not saying this is how it's going to go down, but for example, you have to work with the state on some elements of it, and probably Metro Multnomah County and the Portland Clean Energy Fund might contribute some of the funding, and then Prosper Portland might lead the project of what changes, and then the Portland Bureau of Transportation has to go in and make sure that it is appropriate for how we travel through the city. So it's just like so many entities have to touch something, and it reminds me, like when I'm frustrated with something in the city, how much needs to happen like for our own livability of the city in order for the things to actually be achieved.
Yes, I think you're spot on there. I think one of the things that we are always saying is look, we need to say yes to a lot of the strategies that people want to put forward, and it's not just behavioral health strategies and just residential treatment. It's not just safety and just rules that don't allow people to use dangerous drugs in public. It's not just affordable housing and shelter. It's all of those things together. And so making sure that we're lifting up all those things at the same time is what is, I think, really creating meaningful change. And if people are walking around downtown today versus where things were 2, 3, 4 years ago, they're seeing a huge difference, and the momentum is really building. And when we have a thriving urban core that is supporting business, that is supporting our economy, that means we have the resources to be able to pay for those incredibly important human resource needs, because everybody deserves the opportunity to succeed in life, and there's no strategy that the city wants to put forward that doesn't make sure people have that opportunity as we're solving houselessness and mental health and addictions crises.
Yeah, and what I hear you saying is when we talk about like cleaning up part of the city or graffiti abatement or moving tents, you're not talking about erasing our most vulnerable, because I happen to know that you have an extensive career background in poverty alleviation, and that's something you're really passionate about. Will you tell us a little bit about your career path to this role?
Yes, and that is one of the things that really brought me to this role, because I think that we've really been getting a better understanding about what the needs are of the folks who are really struggling living on the streets with, in camping situations, without running water, without restrooms, without food access, in really dangerous conditions where there's abuse and violence. And so one of the things we've really learned over this last year and a half is there has to be an alternative kind of housing. There has to be alternative sites that with pods and tiny homes, and ability for folks to have sanctioned camping areas that are safe and feel good. So that has felt to me a good transition from the work that I have done in the past, which is really leading efforts to build more affordable housing, leading a state association to advocate for the resources and other regulatory needs that make building much more affordable housing a possibility. That's absolutely critical in the whole equation, as well as providing those services, not just the housing, not just the services. Again, a lot of those pieces of the puzzle have to be coming forward at the same time. Yeah,
I think it's easy as a citizen to think like problem, solution, but it's not one-dimensional. It's actually like three-dimensional with all the different things that are affected in the ripple effect. So I appreciate you being thoughtful about that. I mean, you started in the city in Commissioner Nick Fish's office. Was your first city experience?
I actually go way back.
Oh, okay.
Sort of highlight how long I've been around, but I worked for Gretchen Kafori, who was a city commissioner in the 90s.
Wow.
And did housing work for her, and then did some more housing work in the nonprofit sector, building housing, advocating for resources, and then I was Nick Fish's chief of staff for a couple of years.
And then you were an elected official.
And then I ran for Metro, and it was on Metro for 2 terms, and led their affordable housing initiatives, and really made that a focal point for my work there.
And you also worked on the transportation wallet, is that accurate?
Did a good amount of transportation work at Metro, absolutely. And my biggest project there was getting reduced fares for low-income riders and cutting fares in half for riders of TriMet and other transportation. Public transportation.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm sure a lot of people appreciate that. With this whole city transition that's happening, it changes over officially in January of 25, but work's already happening. So what is the Office of Government Relations, OGR's role in the transition?
Well, again, for OGR, it's this advocacy really means voicing what Portland's needs in terms of what does this city really need support and help from our other partners on. And so it's no secret that we have a number of our city commissioners are running for mayor or other seats, right? And what I think folks would find remarkable is how well they're working together when they're working. You read the papers,
that's
you see the things
that
are, they actually are working very well in projecting a common vision for where the city needs to go. And that really helps us a lot when we're talking to the governor, when we're talking to state legislators, when we're talking to Multnomah County or Metro or the feds, when they see that the city is aligned and has a clear vision for what we need to do to take action and getting the city, to be thriving and on track. that really helps make a big difference. And we saw it in this last legislative session where the legislature really came through for the city of Portland.
Yeah, you had a lot of wins, or we had a lot of wins.
Yeah, we did, yeah.
And I know behind the scenes that one of the goals you've articulated for the next year is to really help council and the new mayor get up to speed, collaborate, and understand as well as possible how to work with OGR and how to do relations in a productive way with all these other bodies. So that's exciting.
Yes, it is. And if you think about having 12 new folks, and a large number of them are going to be new on council, and a new mayor, it's going to be so important that we have that, that we continue that momentum, which is that we are going to continue to put forward, we're going to keep finding ways for these 12 folks to have a unified voice and a common direction and work together as a team. And we're always talking about how do we work together as a team. We love working with pregame because we love working as a team and thinking about all the ways teams, and all the ways that we can just keep them inspired and feeling like, hey, we're really actually seeing some action and some really positive work happening.
You have a small but mighty team. I think that Portlanders should be very reassured to have you in this role and to have your team doing the work that they do. So thank you so much.
Thanks so much. Pleasure to be here.
Yeah. When we come back, it's tea time. It is tea time, and I want to know the tea on what I should be wearing this spring. Now, I am in head-to-toe WILDFANG, but I need to talk to Jessie, who is the store manager here at WILDFANG's amazing store on 10th Avenue downtown. Welcome.
Thank you so much for having me. It's so nice to be here with you this morning.
Well, thanks for welcoming us to your amazing store.
Absolutely.
Tell us a little bit about WILDFANG. I think some people may not know that it is a Portland brand.
Yeah, absolutely. WILDFANG started 13 years ago. And from the beginning of our inception to now in 2024, we're very driven by the desire to break down societal gender norms around gender expression through an individual's expression in clothes.
Yeah, I love that when I'm out and about, I'll see all different people, different ages, different genders, like wearing the clothes, and it looks great on everyone. And you see that also like on your website and with the models. It's just all different people, and I really appreciate that because it shows that I don't have to be like 18 years old and a size 0 in order to like be fashionable.
Absolutely. Our demographic, our main shopping demographic is from 18 to 45. So there really is no limitation on who you are right now and what WILDFANG you can wear. Anyone can wear WILDFANG.
I agree. I really appreciate so many things about the brand. First of all, hilarious on social media, like brand on point. And I love that you can come to the physical store as well as shopping online. And, you know, I like to experience and see everything all at once and compare colors. And something that strikes me with all the WILDFANG stuff that I have is that the quality is really high. Like it stays at the same level over the years. So it's not like shopping in these Instagram brands where you get it and you're like, what's happening?
This isn't what I thought it was going to
No,
be.
this does not look like the photo.
Yeah, well, our creative team takes a lot of pride in building pieces that are made really well. We have very high standards with the factories that we work with and how they deliver our product. And we in store get to work very closely with our product team and give them feedback based on what our customers in store tell us. And we are continuously evolving our product, whether it's sizing or the way it drapes on your body based on what our clients are telling us. So it is very important to us that we're providing clothes that not only look great, but like withstand the test of time.
There's a lot of integrity with this brand, which is one reason I love it so much. Tell us a little bit about what we should be looking for spring. If they come in the store, what are we going to see?
Absolutely. This year we have a lot of very earth tone heavy collections. You can see we have some really great yellows and pinks and reds going on right now. We're also really big into green. WILDFANG has always been into florals. Very cute. This is our iris suit that we came out with last year. So I would say you want to look out for bold pops of earth tones as well as little hints of florals and detailing, like in our Swift suit. I don't know if you can tell on camera, but it's not just terracotta. You have little Swift birds all over the suit, which is so cute. And one thing I know WILDFANG shoppers love about our brand is that it's bold, but it's not crazy.
Yes, it's wearable prints. It's like the kind of thing you want to wear to the office that's office appropriate, but like you'll stand out and look really stylish. And it just takes like a shirt from here or pants from here to make that happen.
Absolutely. You never have to go full head to toe WILDFANG and you'll still get complimented more than any time wearing WILDFANG. I guarantee it.
Yeah, and the coverall is like the WILDFANG basic. It comes in lots of colors.
All different kinds of colors. This is our like OG drop waisted, a little bit more of a masculine fit, but in this really gorgeous, more feminine blush color. We also have a high waisted coverall that fits a little bit more of a curvaceous body. It has a little waist cinching option if you want to be snatched.
I do want that.
Yes,
I want it so badly.
We all want that. And we also just introduced our tall coveralls recently. So those of you that are 5'10" or taller can actually fit into coveralls and they won't be short on you.
Yes, I have 3 coveralls. I have the long sleeve, long in black. I have the shorts version in like a bold pink. And then I have that really cool blue and white, almost tie-dye looking one in the sleeveless.
Yes.
It's like all season.
I mean, I have 23 coveralls, to say the least. But when you work for WILDFANG, it's very easy to fall into the coverall trap.
Yeah, goals.
Yes.
I also love about the coveralls is that you can style them so many different ways. Like I'll do a little scarf, like a little girly mechanic look, or I'll do, you know, you could do boots, you can do tennis shoes, like so many different things.
Absolutely. People think that coveralls can come off very mechanic-y, but you can definitely dress them up with some heels like you're saying, or a little scarf, make it super cute. Definitely an evening outfit for sure.
Yeah, I always feel super badass in mine too.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you look super badass right now.
Thanks. In WILDFANG. And then tell us about the suits, because I've noticed the suits everywhere. They're not suits in that way of like, I'm an attorney, like in a trial, but like fun, day to night.
Absolutely. I mean, you could be an attorney in one of our suits. We do have a classic black line for those that just like the good black and white look, but we also like to go a little bit bolder with our colors and our prints to make it more fun, to really help people feel like they can come into the store and not just buy into a suit that they're going to wear once, but into multiple pieces that they're going to get to wear to a wedding or a party, and also continue to wear after the fact. Because I think that that's something that a lot of people struggle with in spending money on a 3-piece suit is, am I going to wear this again?
Right.
With WILDFANG, for sure, because we're going to have a color that you like or a pattern that you like that's going to fit you really, really well.
Yeah. So for those who are style anxious, which I can't imagine being, but some people are really, they don't like to shop, they're intimidated, maybe they haven't done a style like this before. If they come into the store in person and meet you, what's the experience?
I mean, you can just come into the store and you'll be welcomed by any WILDFANG employee. You'll be asked about what you're shopping for, or if you're doing an event, or if there's a piece you've been having your eye on online for a little while. And then we'll basically do all the shopping for you. We really like to take the work off of our clients' hands, and we like to pick outfits for them. We like to style you in them. We like to help you find your size, and then just send you on your way. If you don't just want to come into the store, you can also schedule a personal styling session online through our website.
That. Wow.
Yeah. There's a link down at the bottom of our main page, and you can book a styling session with one of us.
I love it. And I also love how you have this big, spacious, like dressing room area. It's not like you're being like forced into the back corner when it's all dusty. Like you can really try things on and walk around and see how they feel.
Yeah, and we just remodeled this fitting room a year ago, and it's been such a fun, elevated experience, not just for us, but clients who don't even know each other come in here and cheer each other on, and you get strangers telling you how good you look in your WILDFANG fit, and it's not just us, and it's so genuine and so like joyous to have that experience in such a big shared space.
It's a friendly place. Like I always end up chatting with somebody else who's shopping. So last question, I need the tea on what I thought was April Fool's, but it is genuine. What is this online drop you did this week?
Taco Bell.
I love it. Okay.
We have been working on this collaboration for a long time, and everyone in this company has put so much time and effort and energy in creating this coverall. It has 20 pockets on it that were modeled after actual fast food items from Taco Bell. So if you want to like have a quesadilla, there's a quesadilla pocket on your back.
I have always needed quesadilla pockets.
I know. But
are there nachos pockets?
Oh, absolutely. There's everything pockets, anything Taco Bell. And it's been such a fun experience to watch how people are reacting to it, because it's unlike any coverall we've ever done, unlike any collaboration we've ever done. And we're just so excited to get Taco Bell eyes on our brand and be seen all over the world by Taco Bell fans. It's so exciting.
Taco Bell Eyes sounds like my next ballad that I'll have to record and send you as the theme song.
Yes, please. I look forward to hearing it.
All right, so if people want to learn more about WILDFANG, follow or visit the store, how do they do it?
You can find us on Instagram at WeAreWildFang, or you can go to wildfang.com and shop online, or you can visit one of our 2 stores. Okay. Our flagship store in Portland is on 10th Avenue across the street from Powell's.
Yeah. Easy to find.
Our LA store is on Sunset Boulevard.
Wow, love it. Shop in LA or in Portland.
Absolutely.
You've got the West Coast on lock.
Oh, yes.
Thank you so much, Jessie.
Thank you so much.
And we will be looking great this spring. Thanks for glowing us up.
Absolutely.
When we're back, where the party's at. Now it's party time, and we are only talking about one party today, and that is Whitebird Dance with Executive Director Graham Cole. Welcome.
It's so good to be here.
Tell us about Whitebird. What is it?
So we are a nonprofit dance presenting organization. So what that means is we take dance companies from around the country and around the world and bring them into Portland to perform.
I love it. Now, I first came across Whitebird when I first moved back to Portland, almost exactly 10 years ago. And I was coming from New York, and I was like an art snob, you know, because I'd been seeing all this world-class, like, theater, music, dance. And my friend took me to Whitebird, and I was blown away. And I was like, this is such a gem that Portland has this company that's bringing us all the best dance from around the entire world, including New York, but also Europe. There was one from Mexico that I saw. How do you even find which companies you're going to bring in?
Oh, it takes a lot of work, but so something that we do a lot is travel to festivals and conferences across the country and around the world. I was in Australia last summer, going to Paris this summer. So we do
not a bad
not a bad perk, right? So we do a lot of scouting that way. We also have some really good relationships with agents and individual companies. So we keep in touch, we keep our ears to the ground and try to listen for what is hot right now and what people really need to see.
And you create a great experience for the companies that come here. I think you give them an amazing Portland welcome. Talk a little bit about the dance companies' experience when they're coming to Portland, maybe for the first time.
Yeah, so I think a misconception people might have is that it's a glamorous lifestyle for dance companies traveling from place to place. Maybe if you're a rock star and you have that rider with the green M&Ms and champagne, but a lot of dancers, they are happy to have a banana and a granola bar. So we try to provide something a little bit nicer than that. We have a really nice catering spread. Our team puts a lot of work into curating what people can do while they're in town. Portland's such a beautiful place to visit and a lot of really cool places around. So we tell them about that, and then we also try to give them everything we need for the production so that they feel warm and taken care of.
And you hand them gorgeous flowers after the performance. They always look like so surprised and shocked because they don't get that appreciation other than the applause. But also you do dance workshops during the day. So tell us a little bit about what that's like.
We do. So every single dance company that we've brought to Portland, we've done at least one workshop or artist talk with them. So we actually don't have a space of our own. So that forces us to be very collaborative, which we're happy to be. And so we work with dance companies and schools here in town and provide their students with workshops that are led by the company members from these world-class companies. So they're really unique experiences. And it doesn't have to be someone who's really trained in dance to take one of these workshops. A lot of people on our team are professional dancers, but we have people coming in who are taking a dance workshop for the very first time, and they're just as welcome.
There's a lot of collaboration. I noticed that at your shows you even promote other dance companies shows happening in Portland, which I think is really extraordinary.
Yeah, it's really important, as we're bringing in dance companies from outside the city, that we're supporting dance companies right here in Portland at the same time. So if you come to one of our shows, you'll hear us talking about what other dance companies have shows coming up, and I go to a lot of those shows personally, and I always encourage people to do that too.
Great. Now you have a dance background and you're also a choreographer in your, I don't know what spare time you have. So tell us a little bit about your career as a dancer.
Yeah, so I actually am from Portland originally. I started in Irish step dancing.
Wow.
I know.
Okay.
So I did that for a few years. I was a student at Oregon Ballet Theater for a few years. When our family moved over to the East Coast, I got very into ballet. What we call ourselves is bun heads if you're a ballet nerd. Back when I had hair. But, so I trained in dance. I went to school for dance, and then I moved up to New York and performed in some contemporary ballet and modern companies. And then I moved back to Portland about 4 years ago when I finished with my dancing career, and I really wanted to make a difference in the arts and help provide something to people that they don't usually get to see, and that's what brought me to Whitebird.
I love hearing that because the first book I wrote was called Exit Stage Right, a career change handbook for performers, because I was an actor in my first career and had a really successful transition or one that I experienced a lot of curiosity and joy in the process. And I think it's a really intimidating process. And one thing I learned when I was researching the book is that dancers have to retire in like their late 20s. And so there's, you know, and maybe they didn't go to college because they started professionally at 16 or 17. Yeah. And so finding what their next career is going to be can be a massive like identity crisis. Yeah. So I'm not asking you to tell us about your crisis, but just, you know, in this new career, which is an amazing one because you still get to be in the world of dance, how does your career as a dancer inform how you run this dance company?
Well, no one's harder on dancers than dancers, right? So, you know, part of my job is being a critic, and you know, I have to try to evaluate what dance is really high quality and what isn't. And my career has definitely helped inform that. You know, when I was dancing in New York, I got to see so many dance companies and perform in so many dance companies. It also helps tell me, you know, what dance companies are really doing good work both with their dancers and out in the community. You know, it is unfortunate. Some dance companies can take advantage of the fact that dancers have such a limited window for their career. And you know, not pay them enough or not really give them the tools they need to stay healthy. So we really try to work with companies and bring the ones that we really feel are doing that good work.
Oh, I appreciate that.
Yeah.
I also appreciate how much attention there has been paid by you as a curator and the other people involved to bringing diverse dance companies here. I have seen some amazing, heartbreaking, fulfilling, like make me cry and laugh shows that taught me something about like the Black experience in America in a way I'd never thought about it before. So I think for those who maybe aren't as familiar with dance as something that they go and support, I have been as moved by dance performances I've seen at Whitebird in the last year as I have by any play or movie or piece of art.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm the most biased person you could ask. It's an incredibly beautiful art form, you know, both because of the performers. I mean, these are people that have put so many years into building their body as their instrument. And it's such a rare sight to see. But that is something that we really work hard on, is bringing in a variety of voices artistically and also a variety of styles. You know, if you're looking at this season, we brought hip hop, we brought traditional Samoan dancing, we brought ballet and modern and so much more. We really think it's important for people to see the breadth of dance that is out there in the world, and that includes, you know, bringing in dance companies that represent, you know, the entire human experience.
That's wonderful. Yeah. So there's one show left in the season. Yep. It is Wednesday, April 10th? You
got it.
All right. Yeah. What is it? Why should people get their tickets before they're sold out?
It's Sydney Dance Company is in Sydney, Australia.
Wow.
This is just the second company that we've been able to bring from overseas since the COVID pandemic. So it's a really big deal for us. It is an incredible world-class company. They're on their international tour right now, and something that I think is actually really cool is as part of the U.S. leg of their tour, we're one of just 3 cities that they're going to be visiting. They're going to New York, Washington, D.C., and Portland, Oregon.
So Portland, ruling the West in dance.
We are. And so it's a really rare opportunity for people to see this company. They haven't been to Portland for 10 years.
Wow.
They're led by an amazing Spanish choreographer, Rafael Bonacella, and it's a brand new work. So we're really excited to bring them. They're arriving in town this Sunday, and we hope people are excited to see the show. I
will definitely be there. Where do people get tickets?
You can get tickets on our website, whitebird.org. You can also call our box office, 503-245-1600.
Great.
Yeah.
And one more question. Yep. Give us a little teaser about the new season, because this is the last show of this season. Yep. What are we going to expect? Get me to subscribe.
Oh, God. Well, something that's really exciting about next season is we have over half of our season coming from outside the country, right? This is our international year. So we have really amazing dance companies from within the U.S., but then we also have companies from New Zealand, from Spain, from Brazil, and a few other countries around the world. So it's going to provide some really incredible opportunities for people to see dance from every corner. It's representing 5 continents this season, which is pretty incredible. It's also, you talked a little bit about how the election can affect someone's mental health, and we're really conscious of that. We want to provide a season coming up that's going to be uplifting for people. So especially the first few shows of our season, we have Body Traffic, a really fun company from Los Angeles.
Okay.
Popular music, like really athletic dancing. We also have Okarika Dance Company from New Zealand. And they are performing a work called Mana Wahine, Beautiful Woman, in Maori. And that is actually going to be the weekend after the general election. So we know it's going to be...
Gonna need that,
It's going to be an emotional time for people. But it's such an uplifting story it's based off of a traditional story of a Maori warrior, and also based off of the strong female presences of the dancers. So that is going to be a really uplifting story. And then we have Alonzo King Lyons Ballet from San Francisco performing a new work called Deep River it's a spiritual work, and also features the music of Jason Moran, the amazing jazz pianist, and Lisa Fisher, the vocalist. So we're really trying to give people opportunities to have hope in their lives, to have joy, and to congregate in the theater. That's all we want.
Well, I'm so glad you told us about this. And everyone, subscribe to Whitebird Dance. It is absolutely worth it. They really make Portland a better place.
Thank you so much, Sierra.
Thank you, Graham. Everyone, get out there, support the arts, have fun this weekend, come downtown, shop at WILDFANG, and we will see you next week.